With the sun set in Qatar, riders and manufacturers now have the opportunity to reflect on another day of testing well done at Losail International Circuit. The short rest in between testing sessions seems to have done riders the world of good, with Marc Marquez's lap record smashed twice by Fabio Quartararo and Jack Miller, with the Aussie earning P1 for the day. Johann Zarco has taken to the latest GP21 like a duck to water and completed well over 60 laps for a P4 time, but once again he recorded the highest speed of any rider with an impressive 351.7 kilometers per hour. The power of the Ducatis is notable, with 5 of their 6 riders recording speeds of over 340 km per hour, including Zarco's Pramac Racing teammate Jorge Martin. Quartararo earned a P1 on day 2 of testing, while day 3 saw him go under the lap record, only for it to be bettered by Miller. Maverick Vinales rounds out the top 3 times of the day following another impressive run out. An early crash at turn 1 didn't stop his momentum as he completed 77 laps on a good day for the factory rider. The Iwata outfit were also spotted testing out a new front mudguard and front fork covers, while both rode with different chassis. It's been a slow start to 2021 for KTM as they once again see all riders miss out on the top 10. Despite having a slimmer front end on the RC16, their top speed is lower than it was this time last year, with Miguel Oliveira the best placed of their riders in P12. Probably most impressive of the rookies on show is Enea Bastianini, with the Moto2 World Champion looking a natural in the Premier class, as he once again recorded better times than several established stars in the category for a P14 finish. It has been an extremely impressive start to life for Pol Espargaro at Honda, as he recorded a top 5 finish and looked very comfortable aboard the RC213V. He sat atop the timesheets at midday almost 4 tenths quicker than he was on the KTM this time last year. Takaki Nakagami is another rider who has hit the deck all too often during the test, and today was no exception, downing at turn 1, but he did recover and broke into the top 10 times. Alex Marquez continues to adapt to life in the LCR team and finished with P15. In the Petronas garage, Franco Morbidelli once again leads the way, but he didn't quite crack the top 10 times today, while it was a better run out for Valentino Rossi as he earned a P13 finish, incidentally recording the top speed of all the Yamahas from the day's action. The redeveloped RSGP and Aleix Espargaro continue to impress with a P6 finish and a time that dipped into the 153s. However, Lorenzo Savadori has shown he needs some further time to adapt to the changes as he props up the timesheets of full-time MotoGP riders. Once again, both Suzuki riders are in top 10 finishes, with Joan Mir in P7 one better than Alex Rins, as together they put in 120 laps, while the GSX-RR was also spotted with an extra pair of winglets lower down on the bike. After the third day of testing, the cobwebs are well and truly blown off as riders begin to zero in on what they will need for the Qatar GP. The 4th day of testing in Qatar has come to a close, and as we enter the business end of pre-season, we're beginning to see how the early form is shaping up. It was very much a mixed day for Honda, with Pol Espargaro impressing again aboard the RC213V for a top 10 time. Stefan Bradl also returned following complaints of neck soreness sustained in a crash on Wednesday. However, both he and Espargaro hit the deck at turn 1 during the session. It was a case of rider okay for both, but the same cannot be said for Alex Marquez, whose testing looks to have come to a premature end in the big story of the day. The LCR rider unfortunately suffered a broken metatarsal following a nasty high side coming out of turn 9. The incident brought out the red flag, and the Spaniard was seen limping heavily in the aftermath of the crash. It was another difficult day for KTM, with none of their riders cracking the top 10 once again. The best placed was Brad Binder back in P16. Suzuki have been flying somewhat under the radar to date in Qatar, but once again there was little to separate Joan Mir and Alex Rins on the timesheets, with the current world champion leading his teammates in P6. Notably, today was the first day that both of those riders managed to break the 154 barrier. The Yamahas were impressive once again as they netted a top 3 lockout at Losail, Maverick Vinales leading the charge with a 153.244. The Spaniard yesterday said he found his rhythm, and if he can keep this pace up he will surely be a front runner for victory at the first Grand Prix of the season. Franco Morbidelli earned P2 thanks to his final flying lap less than a tenth off the top, having completed 62 laps. Impressive yet again, Fabio Quartararo completed the lockout with P3. Are we starting to see Valentino Rossi shine in the Petronas SRT colours? The doctor dipped into the 153s for the first time in this test and earned a P8 finish and ensured all 4 Yamahas are inside the top 10 times of the day. Ducati held top spot honours on Wednesday, but they have to settle for 4th today as Francesco Bagnaia was the quickest rider on the Desmos Edici. Jack Miller recorded the fastest ever lap around Losail yesterday evening, but he couldn't reach anywhere near those heights again and finished all the way back in P11. There was another top 10 finish for Johan Zarco, and the Pramac Racing man recorded a remarkable top speed of 357 km per hour. His Pramac Racing teammate Jorge Martin was the best placed of the rookies as he earned a P14 finish. Iker Lecuona was there to lend a helping hand to Marquez when he crashed, ferrying him back to pit lane, but that was possibly the highlight of the day for the Tech 12 rider. Aleix Espargaro was another rider who crashed, but that didn't stop him from impressing on the redeveloped RSGP for a P5 finish. Lorenzo Savadori also crashed as he continues to adapt to life as a full-time MotoGP rider. So that's it from day 4 from Qatar, with one more day of testing to come ahead. The final day of testing in Qatar proved to be an anticlimactic affair. Conditions meant the vast majority of riders chose not to complete any laps, with the sand and dust on track proving perilous. Of those who did, Danilo Petrucci was quickest with a 1:58.157, but that time was well off the pace which had been set over the previous days. So let's take a look at how the combined timesheets look from the Qatar test, and it's Jack Miller leading the way. He's ahead of the 2 factory Yamahas thanks to his 1:53.183. Maverick Vinales then in P2, and Fabio Quartararo rounds out the top 3. Testing is now done and dusted at Losail International Circuit, and we can now look forward to round 1 of the 2021 MotoGP World Championship in 2 weeks' time. And as always, MotoGP.com will be there to bring you the very best of the action.